For more than 200 years, Earth stayed silent. The Galactic Council sent messages. Dozens of peaceful greetings, then threats, then silence. But Earth replied to none. No ships, no voices, no signals. Many in the galaxy thought Earth had died. Some said Earth was hiding in fear. Others laughed and called humans cowards of the stars. But one day, an alien scout ship named Zarnak-1 flew close to Earth's solar system. It came quietly with its lights off, moving through dark space like a shadow. Its mission was clear. Check the silent planet, spy on their system, report back. The pilot was Captain Velron, from the intelligent and proud species called the Dravari. He had destroyed pirates, mapped black holes, and won battles. To him, Earth was just a ghost, a joke, but what Velron saw in Earth's orbit made his blood freeze. He had expected to find nothing, just a dead planet, maybe broken satellites floating in space. Instead, he saw something huge, massive dark shapes hiding near Neptune. No signals came from them, no power spikes, no life signs, just shadows, silent and watching. Then his ship's sensors screamed. Hundreds of unknown devices had locked onto his ship. Weapons? He didn't know. But something out there had seen him. He turned back fast. He didn't fire. He didn't speak. He ran. When he returned to the Dravari command station, he showed the footage. Everyone in the room went silent. Then, they laughed. Main story. The Galactic Council met on a shining space station near the center of the galaxy. Inside the great chamber floated beings from over 400 species, long-bodied Zilari, cloud-like Varniks, sharp-eyed Talari, and more. The speaker, a golden-skinned being with 6 arms, raised his voice. Earth has ignored the galaxy for 2 centuries. They refuse peace. They refuse alliance. Now one scout claims they have shadow fleets in their system. Do we believe such fairy tales? A deep laugh echoed through the chamber. They are too afraid to reply, said High General Brakor of the Varn Dominion. They stayed silent because they are weak. Let them rot. Or maybe, said a soft voice from the shadows, they stayed silent because they were watching. Heads turned. It was Commander Salin, a young military strategist from the Yakari Republic. She had studied hundreds of old Earth files, ancient broadcasts, military data, and news logs. I've been studying Earth's behavior, she said. They vanished from all galactic contact after the Epsilon War. Not a single transmission since, but ships that went too close to their system disappeared. And now Captain Velran brings us this. Shapes in space, moving without energy, targeting. Him without signals, the council scoffed. Ghost stories, someone shouted. Earth is broken, said another, but Celan leaned forward. I don't think they are broken. I think they are preparing. Earth's history. A quiet weapon. 200 years ago, Earth had joined the Galactic Council for only a short time. In that time, they showed interest, made alliances, traded technology. Then came the Epsilon War. A war started by greedy empires to control human mining colonies on the edge of space. Earth had asked for peace. The Council ignored them. Then humans fought back. Their enemies expected basic weapons, slow ships, weak tech. Instead, Earth unleashed something else. Silent ships with black armor, invisible weapons, AI-driven strikes. They didn't just destroy fleets, they erased them. Entire enemy systems lost communication within hours. No survivors, no signals. When the war ended, Earth said nothing. They left the Council, cut off all communication, and then they vanished from the stars. Present day. The Scout's truth captain Velron sat alone in his quarters. He played the B footage again and again, dark shapes above Neptune. No heat, no movement. But something was watching him. His own ship's systems had been jammed. Only his backup recorder had saved the footage. Suddenly, his screen flickered. Words appeared. "You were warned. Do not return." He stood in shock. The message had no source. No signal had entered his ship. It was like the message was already. Inside, Council divided back in the chamber. The Council remained divided. Some wanted to send a fleet to Earth. Let us force them to reply. Others wanted peace. We must respect their silence. Selan spoke again. I advise against action. We should wait and watch. Earth is not dead. Earth is patient. But the Council voted. A diplomatic fleet of 5 ships would be sent. Their mission: enter Earth system. Land on the moon. Send a greeting. The diplomatic fleet 5 golden ships left from the station. On board were leaders, scientists, peacekeepers. They expected an empty system. Maybe old satellites. Maybe Earth would ignore them again. They entered the solar system, passing Pluto. No resistance. They moved past Neptune, still quiet. They reached Saturn. Then, they saw it. 10 massive objects were floating around Saturn's rings. Not moons, not ships, something else. Black like space, but shaped like machines. The fleet sent a message. This is a peaceful visit. We come to speak. No reply. One of the Earth objects moved. Slowly, quietly, toward them. Suddenly, all 5 ships lost power. No lights, no engines, no control. Panic broke out. Then a single message flashed on every screen. You were warned. The response at the Council station. Screens blinked red. The fleet had vanished. No distress calls, no damage alerts, just gone. The Council chamber filled with fear, and then every major planet across the galaxy received a signal. It was not a threat. It was not a voice. It was a simple image, a massive human warship, bigger than anything ever seen, blocking out the stars. Below the image, 4 words glowed. Earth has returned. Watching. Commander Selan stood inside the Yakari command center. She stared at the data on her tablet. Satellite scans, lost signals, mission logs. Her hands shook. This is no longer theory, she said to her team. Earth is awake and watching. She walked into the war room where leaders of the Yakari Republic waited. They erased 5 council ships without a trace, Selan said. This was not an accident. This was a warning. One of the generals spoke up. Are we under attack? No, Selan replied. Not yet. Earth could have destroyed many worlds by now. But hasn't. They're not invading. They're showing control. Another general laughed. So we should fear shadows in space? Selan's voice was calm but cold. Those shadows tracked Captain Velran's ship across billions of kilometers without sending any signal. They turned off a fleet like flipping a switch. And they've said one thing only: do not return. Galactic Council in panic. The Galactic Council called an emergency meeting. Every species was present. Holograms flickered. Translation bots buzzed. The topic was Earth. Ambassador Calrox of the Trinari Alliance banged his staff on the floor. We must respond with strength. They kidnapped our ships. Maybe they destroyed them, yelled another. Or maybe they spared them, said a voice from the back. All heads turned. It was High Speaker Luma of the Woven Mines, a peaceful but highly intelligent species. Earth does not act like an enemy, she said. An enemy would attack openly. Earth stays quiet, still. They gave us warnings, not war. But why now? Someone asked. Why return after 2 centuries? Commander Selan stepped forward. Maybe because we stepped too close. Maybe Earth was waiting for someone to break the line. And now they're drawing their own. The disappearing probes. To understand Earth's power, the Council sent dozens of spy probes toward the solar system. None returned. They used stealth, speed, cloaking. It didn't matter. Each probe vanished the moment it crossed a certain line near Pluto. No explosions. No debris. Just gone. Celan stood in front of the council with her report. "I've identified a pattern," she said. She showed a map of the solar system. "Here. This invisible border, around 200 AU from Earth. Nothing gets past it, not even light drones. This is not natural. Earth has placed something there, something smart, something alive." The room went silent. What kind of technology can erase ships without energy spikes? What kind of defense is completely invisible? No one had answers. The human pattern Celan returned to her private quarters and opened a secret file. It was called Human Wars, Old Data. She watched ancient footage, humans in metal suits, AI-controlled fighters, drones flying like insects, soldiers who didn't sleep. One video showed a human commander during the Epsilon War. His eyes were cold. "We don't scream in war," the human had said. "We whisper. Then we remove the threat." Celan felt a chill run down her back. Earth had not changed. They had simply gone quiet and sharper. Alien Empire breaks the line. In a far star system, the Gorzak's empire grew tired of fear. They were warriors known for firepower, not patience. "Our fleets are unmatched," said Emperor Grail. "If Earth wants silence, we'll give them noise." The Gorzaks sent a full attack cruiser toward Earth's space. It carried nukes, plasma, gravity bombs, and 3 Dread-class destroyers. They didn't sneak. They came loud, bright, public. The council begged them to stop, but the Empire said, "We fear no planet." The result: 1 second of fire. The cruiser reached the edge of Earth's invisible line. Nothing happened. Then, without warning, a white beam of pure energy sliced through space. No sound, no explosion, no warning. In 1 second, the entire Gorzaks. Cruiser turned to dust. 3 destroyers tried to run. They didn't make it. 3 beams, 3 flashes. Gone. And then, the message appeared. "Return home. This is your last warning." Fear spreads, panic spread like wildfire. The Gorzak's empire, so proud, so powerful, was left speechless. No ships returned, no remains, just silence. Across the galaxy, leaders held emergency meetings, markets crashed, travel routes changed, border systems were emptied, even pirate clans stopped attacking trade ships. They feared the shadows now. The galaxy had a new ghost story. Don't go near Earth. They see everything, and they don't miss. Celan's discovery in the middle of the chaos. Celan made a breakthrough. She traced ancient communication patterns and energy readings from Earth's border. What she found shocked her. "The power levels," she whispered, "they don't match known energy types." Earth wasn't using plasma, fission, antimatter, or even dark energy. They were using something else, something completely new, something the galaxy couldn't detect until it was too late. "Earth doesn't just have new weapons," she told her team. "They have new science." Back at Earth, hidden and ready on the dark side of Earth's moon, under the surface, a massive command room sat in silence. Thousands of human minds, some biological, some AI, monitored the galaxy. They had watched every council meeting. They had seen every attack attempt. One AI voice spoke inside the chamber. "Observation complete. Stage 1 successful. Let them fear." Another voice, deeper and human, replied, "Good. Let them think we're ghosts. Let them wonder what we've become." Commander Celan was not sleeping. She hadn't slept for 3 days. Her mind was racing. Earth's behavior made no sense. "If they wanted war, they would have attacked already," she whispered. "If they wanted peace, they'd talk." But Earth did neither. She reviewed the data from the last 2 centuries. Ship disappearances, strange energy bursts, communication blackouts, all were near old human travel zones. All had been ignored. Until now. Then she noticed something. The disappearances formed a pattern, not random, not chaotic, but organized. She overlaid the data on a star map. The dots connected. They formed a giant grid, a web stretching across multiple Sectors, this isn't just Earth's defense line, she said. This is a surveillance network, a ghost network. What is a ghost network? Ceylon called her trusted team together. What is a ghost network? Asked one officer. She pointed. To the star map. It's an invisible system. A chain of devices, drones, satellites, and relays hidden in space. No signals, no movement. Just waiting, watching. Who's being watched? Another asked. Ceylon looked up. Us. Hidden eyes. Across the stars in the past 50 years, over 200 unexplained ship failures had been reported. Navigation errors, random power cuts, total blackouts. Everyone had blamed space anomalies or pirate traps, but now it made sense. Earth's devices were in those areas. Hidden satellites, cloaked listening posts, maybe even drones inside asteroid belts. They didn't attack. They simply watched, waiting. And when a threat crossed a certain line, they erased it. Captain Velrin returns. The Dravari pilot, Captain Velrin, had seen the shadows near Neptune. He had been the first to warn the Council. Now he returned to Ceylon Station with more information. I followed the energy trails, he said. I went back alone, but I didn't enter the system. I stayed far away. What did you find? Ceylon asked. Velran's face was pale. There are hundreds of them, not ships, machines, big as moons, not moving, not sending anything, just watching. He showed her images, large black spheres, some glowing faint blue, others cold and dark, each placed in deep space like chess pieces. Ceylon stared at the images. They've built a network no one saw coming. Ancient human clues. Ceylon began studying old human transmissions, public messages, news files, and lost military documents. One phrase kept coming up. Project Spectre. She searched deeper. No full files existed. But from scraps, she learned. It began after the Epsilon War. It used dark AI systems and deep space drones. It was built for one purpose, to vanish from the galaxy while keeping an eye on everything. Project Spectre was Earth's greatest creation, and it had worked. Fear grows in the Council. Meanwhile, in the Galactic Council, paranoia spread. What if Earth has eyes on our colonies? What if their drones are already in our systems? What if we're already targeted? High General Brakor shouted. They're playing with us. They think we're insects. But High Speaker Luma replied softly, maybe we are, compared to what they've become. A silent ship in the wrong place. Then, something terrible happened. A merchant ship from the Lurani species drifted too close to Earth's ghost line. The pilot didn't know. He was just delivering cargo to a moon colony. But as his ship floated near the invisible border, his system shut down. His ship went dark. No power. No control. No distress signal. He drifted helplessly in space. Suddenly, the stars vanished. A shape blocked his view. Something massive hovered above him. Then his ship powered up again, all systems returned, and a message blinked on his screen. You were not a threat. Leave now. The message spreads. The merchant told his story to every system he could. He cried on the news feeds. I thought I was going to die, but they let me go. Earth. They watched me, but they didn't kill me. Why? His story shook the galaxy. Earth was not destroying everything, only threats, only invaders. Some leaders began to wonder, what if Earth is not angry, but protecting something? What is Earth protecting? Ceylon stared at the Earth system map. She had a theory. They're not just protecting Earth, she said. They're protecting the truth. What truth? Her team asked. Ceylon pointed to Earth's moon. To know that, we must find out what's under the surface. Back on Earth, deep below, under the surface of the moon, inside a massive black facility, thousands of human minds, cloned, enhanced, and artificial, processed millions of galactic signals. One AI voice spoke, "All threats neutralized, ghost net holding." Another replied, "Observation active, intelligence gathered, phase 2 ready." A human general stepped forward. His face was half machine. When the galaxy is afraid, it listens. And when it listens, it remembers. He stared at the glowing map. Hundreds of systems, hundreds of hidden eyes, all watching, all connected. Earth's ghost network was real, and it was everywhere. Inside the Great Council chamber, leaders from hundreds of species gathered. Their faces were serious. Some were afraid, others were angry. "Earth must respond to us," shouted Ambassador Krell of the Torkari. "They are not gods. They are one planet." "But one planet that made our fleets vanish," said another. The room grew quiet. Then High General Brakor stood. "We will send a peaceful force. Not to fight, only to pressure them." Selan's voice cut through the silence. "This is a mistake." Brakor looked at her with a smirk. "We won't attack, just show strength." Selan stepped forward. "Earth doesn't fear strength. They measure it. And when you cross the line, they erase it." But no one listened. The vote passed. The Peace Fleet 10 ships were chosen. Big, shining, loaded with weapons, but hidden under the claim of diplomacy. The Council called them a peace fleet. Selan called them bait. The ships began their journey toward Sol, the solar system, Earth's home. Their mission: approach slowly, send peaceful messages, show power through presence, wait for Earth's reply. They believed Earth would respond with talks. But Earth responded with silence. At first, crossing the line. The Peace Fleet passed Pluto. No reaction. They moved past Neptune, still quiet. They passed Saturn and reached Jupiter's orbit. Then, the stars began to blink. Not explode, not fall, just blink, as if something enormous had passed in front of them. The fleet's radar picked up shadows, big ones, moving fast. "Ships," one pilot whispered. "No signals, no heat, no engine trails," said another. Then, the sky opened. Earth's fleet reveals itself. 10 massive ships uncloaked, not near Jupiter, above every major capital planet in the galaxy. From the skies of Varnus to the clouds of Yalari Prime, civilians looked up and screamed. The stars were gone. Something was blocking the sky. Each ship was shaped like a blade, long and black, with a glowing red line across the side. No messages, no demands, just presence, just fear. The Peace Fleet's last message back near Jupiter, the Peace Fleet sent a final message. "Earth, we come in peace. We request a reply." The message was sent. 5 seconds passed, then 10, then one Earth ship responded. Only one word appeared: observed. Then every ship in the Peace Fleet shut down. Power gone, weapons offline, life support frozen. A few seconds later, all 10 ships were teleported out of the system. The Council watched their tracker screens. The Peace Fleet was suddenly floating near. Their own stations, towed silently by Earth's ships and dropped off like trash. No damage, no crew harmed, but one message was carved into each ship's hull. Final warning: panic in the Council. The Council was in chaos. How did they teleport ships that size? No energy spikes. How did they move them? Why? "Didn't they destroy us?" Selan answered. "Because Earth wants us to live, to remember. They are showing control, not cruelty." "But why?" someone asked. "Why warn instead of attack?" "Because they still hope we'll listen," Selan said. "But not forever." Inside an Earth warship above the Council's home planet, a silent Earth warship hovered like a mountain in the sky. Inside, no crew walked. Only machines moved. Silent, perfect, deadly. One room held a round table. At that table sat 6 humans. Their faces calm, their eyes sharp. One spoke. They sent fleets again. Still testing us. Another nodded. They won't stop until they are afraid. Deeply afraid. A third added, then let's give them fear. One more move, and we reveal Phase 2. They stood. The command was given. Across the galaxy, Earth's ships powered up. Not to fire. Not to invade, just to show. One ship flew past the moon of Droxar 5. It was bigger than the moon itself. Another ship appeared inside a gas giant storm, perfectly still, unharmed by the planet's deadly winds. One ship hovered inches above a capital city tower, without sound. And above every ship, a signal appeared in the sky, floating like a hologram. You mocked the silence. You tested the shadows. Now you face the full presence. For years, Earth stayed quiet, silent, patient. The galaxy called humans cowards, weak, primitive. But they were wrong. Everything had been part of Earth's plan. Earth was never weak. It was preparing, watching, hiding the truth. And now, the time had come to show the galaxy what silence really meant. The Zarn fleet trapped High Admiral Kareth looked around his command ship, the Fang of Truth. His crew was silent, confused. "Engineers, report!" he shouted. "No power, Admiral. Our fusion cores are shutting down one by one," replied the chief engineer. Kareth clenched his fists. "Who has this kind of power?" No answer came. Suddenly, one of the smaller ships in his fleet exploded. No sound, no warning, just turned into dust. A second one followed, and then a third. Each explosion was clean and sharp. Not from missiles, not from beams. It was as if something touched them and erased them from space. "Raise the shields," Kareth ordered. "We can't," his weapons officer whispered. "The controls are frozen." Kareth stared at the blackness. Outside, he couldn't see the enemy, but the enemy could see them. Earth's plan revealed back on Earth, inside a secret command base beneath Antarctica. Commander Rhea stood before a giant hollow map. Hundreds of red dots, the Zarn fleet, were blinking in the solar system. She turned to the others. "Begin Operation Eclipse." One officer hesitated. "All of it?" Rhea nodded. "Yes. They need to understand what silence really hides." The humans had placed traps all over the solar system. Gravity mines, signal jammers, cloaked hunter drones, and, most dangerous of all, the Shroud Protocol, a weapon that bent light and space around Earth's warships, making them invisible. Now those weapons were active. Panic in the Zarn fleet. The Zarn soldiers panicked. One screamed, "Something is inside our ship!" The Admiral rushed to the hallways. He saw shadows moving without bodies. A whisper echoed, "You mocked us for being silent." Another voice followed. "Now your screams will never be heard." Suddenly, the command deck doors locked shut. Artificial gravity flipped. Some crew members flew to the ceiling. Others hit walls. It was chaos. Then all the screens turned on at once. A human face appeared. Calm, cold. It was Commander Rhea. She said just 3 words. "Now we begin." Human dreadnoughts enter the fight. From the shadow of Jupiter came Earth's first dreadnought, the Oblivion Star. Its hull was blacker than space. Its weapons were silent. It didn't fire lasers or missiles. It released gravity shards, weapons that bent reality itself, cutting through space and slicing ships in half. One Zarn cruiser was hit. It folded inward like paper and vanished. The Zarn couldn't understand. Their tech was ancient compared to this. One captain shouted, "Retreat! Retreat to hyper-jump!" But no ship could jump. The gravity fields around Earth had been twisted. They were locked in. A perfect trap. The galaxy watches in fear. Across the galaxy, other alien races were watching the battle through secret probes. They saw everything. They saw the mighty Zarn fleet being destroyed without a fight. One alien leader whispered, "What? Our humans?" Another replied, "They are not what we thought." A third said, "We must not fight them. Ever." Scene 6. Last stand of the Zarn High, Admiral Kareth gathered his remaining ships. They were few, maybe 40 out of 500. He sent a message to Earth. "This is Kareth of the Zarn. We surrender." Earth didn't reply. Instead, the sky darkened. More dreadnoughts arrived. Not one, not 10, but 1,000. Their massive bodies blocked the stars, and Earth sent just one final message. "This is the price of mocking silence." And then everything went black. The universe froze in fear. From the edges of the Orion Arm to the deepest star fields near the Helix cluster, every space empire stopped. Every transmission halted. Every fleet stood down. All eyes turned to one small blue planet, Earth. Overnight, Earth's orbit became a graveyard of warnings. Not debris, not satellites, but warships, thousands of them. They arrived in silence, blinking into place like shadows being drawn into the light. Ambassador Virex of the Zintari Empire gasped as his personal scanner screamed. "These are not normal warships," he whispered. "Each one is 10 times the size of a dread carrier." "They're not moving," his aide said. "Are they waiting?" "No," Virex said darkly. "They are threatening." On Earth's surface, high above the clouds, the world's people looked up. At first, they saw only strange stars. But as the sun rose, they saw the truth. Ships, not from Earth, not built by any known nation. They had smooth, dark hulls. Lights that pulsed with unknown codes, symbols no one recognized. They didn't land, they didn't speak, they just watched. The media called them the 1,000 Warnings. No one knew who sent them. No government claimed them. But deep underground, in an old bunker known only to a few, one man sat at a console with a single button glowing red. Commander Elric, the last active agent of Earth's Forgotten Space Division, stared at the blinking. "Screen! They finally got the message," he whispered. In the Galactic Council Hall, chaos had broken out. "The humans skipped every council gathering for the last 300 years, shouted a beetle-like senator from Krazul 9. "They ignored every peace order, every message. And now," another alien screamed, "they've placed a battle fleet above their planet." "It's a message." "But what does it mean?" a voice asked. An old being stood. Elder Rythax of the Elder Space Order, who had not spoken in 90 years. He raised a bony hand. "They warned us long ago that if Earth ever remained silent too, long we would regret it." Above Earth, one ship moved. It was the largest, a floating black triangle the size of a small moon. It hummed with power that even galactic sensors couldn't identify. And then, finally, a signal came through. It was not a language, not a message. It was a countdown. 10, 9, 8. The galaxy screamed. Ships scrambled to flee the nearby systems. But the countdown wasn't for them. It was for Earth's final reply. Underground control room. Earth Commander Elric touched the console. "All systems stable," his AI reported. "Play the message," Elric said. A voice, calm and cold, played. "Across the galaxy. This is Earth. We have been silent. We have watched. We have warned. You did not listen. Now you will understand." As the message ended, the countdown reached 0, but no shot was fired. Instead, the sky above Earth shifted. The ships weren't just above the planet. They spread out. One warship for every major galactic capital, blinking instantly across the stars. Each ship sent the same message. "Do not approach Earth. Do not summon Earth. Let the silence remain, or it will become your silence too." Galactic panic. Begins panic. Gripped the galaxy. Planets began moving fleets away from Earth's region. Trade routes changed. Space around Sol became a forbidden zone. Historians renamed the event the Thousand Warnings Above. It was no longer a mystery. It was a message from a species that had refused to join the galaxy. And now, the galaxy knew why. The galaxy tries to act fast. The Galactic Council holds an emergency session, but half their members are too afraid to even attend. The rest argue in panic. Should they attack, surrender, or beg for peace? Human ships cover. Planetary orbits. Earth's fleet doesn't speak or move, but they appear in orbit above every council capital, military base, and former human colony. Xerox the Warlord attempts a strike. One powerful alien lord named Xerox gathers a private armada. He believes humans are bluffing. He launches a surprise attack on the nearest Earth warship. His fleet vanishes in seconds, not destroyed, just gone. No debris, no signal, no explosion, just clean silence, like they were erased. A message appears on all screens. Warning 1, ignored. Warning 2, lost. Warning 3, we are now here. The countdown reaches 10. Now, across the galaxy, all species watch the countdown on every screen. 10, 9, 8. A whisper is heard across space. It's not a signal, not a broadcast. It's a voice inside their minds. You left Earth in silence. Now you will hear us without words. The galaxy realizes the truth. Too late. Humanity had been evolving, not just in strength or ships, but in something far more advanced. Something the galaxy never saw coming. The galaxy was no longer the same. Planets had fallen. Fleets had vanished. And now the final message from Earth was being broadcast across every corner of the stars. But this was not a message of peace. It was not a call for surrender. It was a warning. The Council's desperation. Inside the ruined remains of the Galactic Council's capital station, the surviving members gathered. The once powerful chambers were now cracked, with glowing wires. Hanging from the ceiling, smoke still lingered in the air. High Lord Kral spoke first. His voice trembled, something never seen before. "We have failed," he said. "The humans are not just fighters. They are something else. Something beyond." General Theron stood beside him. "They were quiet for too long. We thought they were weak, but all this time, they were watching, learning." The Council's emergency beacon had sent messages to every known empire. Many tried to help. All failed. And now something had changed. Earth's voice had returned, but not from a person. It came from a warship, one the size of a moon. The message begins all over the galaxy. Screens lit up. A black screen appeared first. Then, glowing white letters formed slowly, one word at a time. "This is not revenge. This is balance." Then came the voice, calm, human, but not quite alive. "We heard your threats. We watched your attacks. We counted your dead. And now, we have spoken." The image changed. A massive view of space appeared. At the center floated Earth's final warship. Bigger than any ship ever built by aliens. It looked like a black hole with weapons. Around it, the remains of 100 enemy fleets floated in silence. You said Earth was weak. You thought silence meant fear. But now, you know. This galaxy is no longer yours to rule. Across the stars, fear grows on the planet Zerion. A young alien soldier named Lask watched the message. His claws trembled. His home planet had never been attacked, but now he feared it might be next. His commander stood behind him, frozen. "Is it real?" Lask asked. The commander didn't speak. "Earth's final message is simple. the voice said again. "We do not want your planets. We do not need your gold. We are not here to rule. But if you attack again, we will not stop. There will be no second warning. Inside the ship, Leviathan Protocol, the ship sending the A message was called Leviathan. It was Earth's last weapon, built deep under the surface, powered by unknown energy, controlled by an AI that had no fear and no mercy. Inside, there were no crew, just silence and power. Leviathan could destroy stars. It could cloak entire planets. It could bend time around it to dodge attacks. But Leviathan had rules. It would only activate if Earth's survival was truly at risk. Now that line had been crossed. The aliens who survived, now. Begged from the ashes of their empires, the remaining leaders sent replies. Some begged for peace. Some swore loyalty. Some simply vanished, turning off all signals and going dark, hoping Earth would forget they existed. But Leviathan's message was clear. We do not forget. We do not forgive. We remember every cry for help from our colonies. We remember every city you burned, one last attack in the shadow of a dying sun. The last rebel fleet tried to make a stand. Led by the warlord Crethar, they believed Earth could still be defeated. We strike now, he growled, before they reach our system. Before their ship gets too close, they launched all weapons. Missiles, energy blasts, antimatter beams. It didn't matter. The Leviathan did not fire back. It didn't have to. Their weapons stopped mid-space, frozen, crushed, returned. In seconds, their fleet was gone. You tried, the message said. You failed. The galaxy accepts Earth's law. A new age began, not one of slavery or human control, but one of silence. Peace came not from kindness, but from fear. Earth said nothing more. No new messages, no more attacks. Leviathan simply floated, watching. Waiting. Empires rose again, but never dared speak against humans. New civilizations formed, but always left a place in their history for Earth. Some worshipped the humans as gods. Others called them demons, but all agreed on one thing. Earth had changed the galaxy forever. On Earth, silence returned back home. Leviathan entered deep space and powered down. The humans said nothing. They rebuilt their cities, planted trees, watched their skies. They had shown their power. But they had no interest in ruling. They only wanted peace. But if peace ever broke, if anyone attacked Earth again, they knew Leviathan would wake, and this time it would not send a message. It would just end everything. The stars were burning, not with fire, but with transmissions, coded messages, warnings, and last cries for help. Across the galaxy, ancient alien empires were collapsing, and at the center of it all stood Earth's silent warships, black as night, massive as moons, and faster than anything the universe had ever seen. In the ruins of the Zorthan stronghold, pieces of technology floated like broken bones. The planet's defense grid had been shattered in a single strike. It was not a battle, it was a lesson, a warning. And it had been delivered with silence. Now a final message was about to echo across the galaxy. Admiral Reyna stood alone on the bridge of the eclipse. The warship was drifting silently above a dying sun. She watched the screen in front of her. Oh, single message blinking, waiting to be sent. All fleets ready, Commander Vale said behind her. This is the moment. Reyna nodded. This isn't revenge anymore. This is survival. For all of us. For months, Earth had remained quiet. Even after being betrayed and exiled, even after the attacks on their colonies and the lies spread by the Galactic Council. They had waited. But now, after proving their power, it was time to speak. Across the stars, hundreds of alien species watched in fear. Every major government, every hidden spy network, every satellite turned its sensors. toward the same signal. The source, an ancient relay tower near the ruins of Earth's first colony. Suddenly, it lit up. A single message was broadcast in every language the galaxy knew. The words were clear, slow, and terrifying. "This is Earth. We gave you a chance. You broke it?" There was silence. Then came the second line. "We are not here to conquer, but if attacked again, we will not hold back." The final line chilled every species to the bone. "You will not see us coming next time, but you will feel us." Panic spread like fire. In the capital of the Yeldari Empire, their High Council screamed at each other, demanding answers. "What do they want?" one shouted. "Why don't they just take control if they're so powerful?" "They don't want control," an old advisor said quietly. "They want to be left alone. But they're not asking. They're warning." Even the most powerful empires were now scared to send a single ship near Earth space. Trade routes changed. Explorers vanished from nearby systems. The fear was not just of war, it was of silence. Earth didn't speak. They didn't threaten. They acted. And that was worse. Back on Earth, humanity was finally at peace. There were no crowds cheering in the streets. No grand speeches. The people knew the cost of what had been done. Billions across the galaxy had suffered because of the lies told about humans. But Earth had defended itself, not with words, but with precision. The once banned planet was now a ghost to many, untouchable, mysterious. Some called it cursed, others called it divine. And still, Earth said nothing. In a hidden moon base far from any star, a group of alien children gathered around an old storyteller. "Is it true?" one child asked. "Did Earth really destroy 10 fleets without a single loss?" The old one nodded. "Yes, and they didn't even use all their power." "Will they come for us?" The storyteller smiled. "No, child, they only come when they are called. But if you lie, if you hurt them, or try to control them, they will come." "Why are they so powerful?" The old one looked toward the stars. "Because they were the only species to survive betrayal, fire, and exile, and become stronger." Admiral Reyna walked out of the Eclipse Bridge and looked at the stars one last time. "Send the final command," she said to her crew. All. Around the galaxy, Earth's silent ships turned away from war zones, from borderlines, from enemy territory. They didn't retreat. They simply vanished. Into deep space, into the unknown, and the galaxy was never the same again. The galaxy held its breath. The silence from the once powerful empire was complete. No signals, no threats, no movement. At the edge of the stars, a deep black void now remained where a massive empire once ruled, and at the center of it all floated a single human ship, the Silent Star. Admiral Reeve stood on the bridge. His eyes were calm, but his crew felt the weight of what had just happened. No one in the galaxy understood what the humans had done. No weapons had been fired, no planets destroyed openly. But one by one, the Empire's fleets had vanished. Entire worlds had gone quiet. A final message had been sent to the Galactic Council. We warned them. Silence was our weapon. Now silence is all that remains. The Council begged for answers. Explorers were sent. None returned. And now the galaxy was beginning to realize Earth had ended the war not with fire, but with silence. Main story. Admiral. Reeve stepped back from the viewport. The war was over, but this was not victory. It was a warning. "Status?" he asked quietly. "Sector 7 reports. Total collapse. No signals, no heat. Nothing alive." Reeve nodded. "Any survivors?" "No, sir. It's like they were never there." The crew didn't cheer. They didn't smile. This wasn't a win. It was a message. 10 parts of the Empire had fallen, 10 sectors, each one stronger than the last. All gone now. Earth's technology had grown far beyond what the galaxy imagined. While the rest of the universe relied on firepower and energy weapons, Humans had gone another way. Silence-based war. Using quantum fields, black hole mimics, and dark tech systems, they had learned how to erase presence, not just destroy ships, but remove them from memory, from time, from light. The enemy couldn't fight what they couldn't hear, couldn't see, couldn't understand. In the Galactic Council Hall, panic spread. Alien leaders argued, cried, and screamed. "They didn't even attack us directly," one shouted. "They erased everything," another sobbed. "We should have never exiled Earth." Now it was too late. Earth's ambassadors did not return messages. Their stations were dark. Only one warning remained, etched into space near the ruined empire. "We do not seek power, but we will not kneel. Threaten Earth again, and know the true meaning of silence." Back aboard the Silent Star, Reeve walked into the deep chamber. There, the core AI known as EVA floated in its pod. "Are they gone?" EVA asked. "Yes," Reeve replied. "Do you feel guilt?" Reeve paused. "Not guilt, but wait." Eva's light dimmed softly. "Good. That means we're still human." Reeve looked up at the stars. This silence was the only language they understood. EVA responded, "And now they will remember it forever." Scene: Galactic Border Outpost. Weeks later, a small alien ship drifted close to the edge of the Lost Empire's space. The crew wanted to explore, to find out what had happened. As they passed the border, all systems failed. The ship stopped. Engines went cold, lights turned off. No sound, no signal. One word appeared on their display: "Leave." They turned back, and the message vanished. Back on Earth, humanity didn't celebrate. There were no parades, no songs of victory, only peace. Children played under the sky. Cities glowed with calm light. The people remembered the price of silence and the cost of letting fear control them. A new Earth was rising, strong, peaceful, and quiet. But the galaxy would never forget. The silent planet had spoken, and the stars would never be the same again.